Hey guys, what's up? It's the Ultimate Jobber, here to give you a rundown while it's still fresh in my mind, the 2012 Extreme Rules live from Chicago. Excuse the gritty cinematography, I am live in my parents' garage, giving you a rundown review of what I thought was a really good Extreme Rules. But before anything, subscribe. I want you to like that button, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below and see what else you thought about the match, the whole night itself. And let's just start off this night. The night started off really good. It was Randy Orton versus Kane in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The match really quickened in pace as it took about a minute before the lead pipe was even brought out and used as a weapon throughout the match. The match then escalated into a brawl into the crowd, which lasted about a couple of minutes. Then they went backstage, kind of decked around with the equipment, smashing each other, whatnot, being real kind of a mayhem kind of environment. Excuse me if you guys notice me looking at my phone. I'm trying to keep track of time at the same time I'm doing the video. So if you guys see me doing this, I'm just checking my time. Alright, cool. I think I got escalated 2 minutes. So they also barged into a room full of WWE superstars. They kind of still continued to brawl with each other. Then Zack Ryder made a cameo and started trying to beat down Kane, but Kane didn't feel much about it, or didn't feel much effect from it. Tried to choke slam Zack Ryder, but Randy Orton interfered. Then they kind of moved it on down back to the ring. The match continued on for about another 5 minutes. Randy Orton hits an RKO. The middle of the ring, match is over, boom, done. Great opener. I give it about, out of 5 stars, 3 stars, good opener. Got the crowd really pumped up behind it. The next match destroyed the gimmick of the whole night of Extreme Rules, but it's still continuing this feud in a sense. It was Brodus Clay versus Dolph Ziggler. Now Dolph Ziggler, the first 2 pay-per-views of the whole year, he co-main evented the Royal Rumble, facing off CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Then he was in the Elimination Chamber. Now he's doing squash matches at Extreme Rules. Way to build him up, then totally destroy him. WWE. But the match was there. It was a singles match, which is why I said it destroyed the whole gimmick of the night, because it was just a singles match. There was nothing to it. There was nothing escalated at that one. The match, when they introduced the superstars, I thought it was going to be a mixed tag team match. Hornswoggle, Brodus, Ziggler, Vicky, but no, it was just a singles match. The match was about 4 minutes long. It was just a squash match, just to further pursue this. I don't understand why they could have had this on Raw, or they couldn't have had this on Raw and put the tag team titles here. I mean, you're already burying your tag team title as it is, so why not just give them the opportunity on a pay-per-view, especially live on it? But I guess this was considered more fan-friendly and marketable. But the match, I thought it was a joke. I give it a star. I mean, Brodus Clay won. I'm just glad it was 4 minutes and anything else. Third match of the line, Intercontinental title match. Cody Rhodes, challenger, versus Big Show, the champion. Now, on the pre-show, they had rolled this big roulette kind of thing to determine the stipulation. Ended up being a table match. The match itself lasted about 7 minutes and seemed to be very pro-Big Show. Big Show dominated the whole match, really legitimized himself as the Intercontinental champion. Cody Rhodes probably got 3 offensive moves. Now, the ending of the match, hopefully I'm not spoiling for anybody, but maybe I am if you're already watching this, so we'll never know. The end of the match came when Big Show was on the apron trying to enter the ring. He stick one leg over, Cody Rhodes kicked his leg, and his leg fell through the table, considering a brick. So Cody Rhodes wins the match, and me and my friend who were watching this pay-per-view trying to figure out if it was legit finish or a botch or anything of that matter. Now, if you keep watching my videos, I do mention plot devices. Plot devices to me are when throughout the match, superstars set up little kind of devices in areas so that way they can be used later on in the match. Well, Big Show had set up tables throughout the ring and or outside the ring, but weren't really utilized until after the match. So I thought to myself, well, how did they finish this match legitimately and not use these other areas of interest? Well, we found out after the match they were still used, but it took a while for me to take into concept if this match had legitimately finished or it was a botch ending. Either way, Cody Rhodes is the champion. And after the match, Big Show attacked him, threw him through a table in the corner, then picked him up and threw him over the top rope, basically like a military press slam into another table that was about 5 feet below. It was a wicked bump from Cody Rhodes, but really, really well. The match itself, if I'm trying to figure out if it was legit or not, 2.5 stars. It was doing really good. It had a nice pace going for it, but I don't know how authentic the match itself was. So 2.5 stars, really good. Cody Rhodes picks up the win. I'm a big Cody Rhodes supporter. Thumbs up for me on that one. The next match was the World Heavyweight Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls. Not really Extreme Rules match, but extreme in terms of the length and the kind of the match stipulation itself. You got to win twice, so I guess it works. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. The match up until the first fall was really good, really fast paced. Yeah, a lot of strikes, a lot of grapples, a lot of quick maneuvers. A botch, I believe, was made by Daniel Bryan, who was trying to go for a headbutt, but I believe he slipped. I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the right match or CM Punk's little botch in his match. Anyways, that happened. There was a lot of quick things. The first fall went to Sheamus because Daniel Bryan was kicking him while he was on his knees by the ropes, and he wouldn't stop at the count of 5, so he got DQ'd. Well, about a minute afterwards, he put him in the label block using that same arm he had been kicking for the 2 minutes prior to make him submit. Actually, he kind of passed out, he didn't submit. Then the match kind of, not stopped, but was kind of taking a pause so that way they can see if Sheamus was ready to go again. Well, the match started again, or resumed, and he delivered a brogue kick, but because he was so exhausted and attempted the 3 count a little bit later, Daniel Bryan kicked out. Then Sheamus ended the match with a brogue kick. To me, I thought the finish was kind of rushed because it showed Sheamus doing his kind of his signature closing where he does his double axe fist and his whole little, like his body slam kind of maneuver, which he sets up for the brogue kick. But he hits his brogue kick without much of a build up to it. I mean, yeah, he was building up the brogue kick, but it was kind of anticlimactic because he just hit it, and that ended the match. By the way, there was a cameo of AJ prior to the match, but she didn't have anything to do to the match other than some promos and vignettes about her. But other than that, nothing else. What am I on? Ooh, 6 minutes, nice pace. The next match after that, my rating for the match. The match was really good up to the first fall. Second fall was good. A lot of suspense in the third fall. The finish kind of rushed. 3.5 stars for me. Good match. I thought it was probably one of the top 2 matches of the night. The next match of the night was another match that I guess it's hardcore because it was a handicap match, but I just didn't see no place for it here. Again, it's to continue this character of Ryback. Like I said, it's Ryback versus these 2 jobbers who, there's a funny promo with them that before the match they were saying that 1 + 1 = 2, 2 is better than 1. And that was really hilarious because they were trying to build themselves up, saying that one person can't beat Ryback, but 2 people can't. Well, Ryback continues to dominate, destroy both these guys. I like his primary finisher, which is the backpack stunner that he used when he was Skip Sheffield. That was really cool. He defeats, he pins both of them, and that ends the match. Not really good for the show, but in the backstage, Santino and Great Khali were watching the match, so you're kind of hinting a little bit of Khali Ryback in the future, so maybe it does have a purpose, but I don't know why they couldn't wait for SmackDown for that. Other than that, it was decent. The following match was the WWE Championship. That's right, guys. It was the WWE Championship Divas match. Lesnar Cena. So we had the Chicago Street Fight. CM Punk, the WWE Championship. Chris Jericho, the Challenger. They both came out wearing shorts, then their little knee pads and everything. So it was pretty funny that me and my friend witnessed that. The match was really good, really fast paced, other than 2 little botches that CM Punk had done. But what can we say? The ring's kind of slippery, and he goes through a lot, so we can't really blame that. His signature flying clothesline from the springboard position, kind of skipped that, and when he was trying to go for a really big move at the end, he kind of almost fell off the turnbuckle. The match was really good. The big weapon that was used throughout the whole match, Kendo Stick played a big role in the match itself. Both superstars used it to their effectiveness, and it was a really good pickup. Then we got to see CM Punk's sister throughout the whole match, and it was funny because she slapped the crap out of him and it was pretty hilarious. And me and my friend were trying to figure out, is that really a sister or is that just an actress? But regardless, she did play some sort of a story for at least the first half of the match. Then the match escalated outside, and Punk was really furious because Jericho almost struck his sister. Then he put her through, like the cutout of the announce table that they always pick up before they take up the TV monitors. Well, he sets one up by kind of an accident because he was flipping them off, and throws Punk on one of them, which is really cool. Then they go back in the ring, continue to do more like mat-based wrestling. They use the candlestick more, TV monitors. Jericho brings out the beer, spills it on him, brings out another beer, starts drinking it. CM Punk fights back. Then we have a really good moment where he places Jericho on the table, on the Spanish announce table. Then CM Punk goes for the elbow. He almost, as he was positioning himself, he almost fell back, but he managed to caught himself. So that was good. At least he wasn't a full botch. Then he goes for the elbow, connects, and doesn't get the 3. So really good momentum build right there. The match continues on for a couple of minutes. Jericho's about to hit the GTS on Punk, reverse rolls. But Punk reverses it, hits Jericho on an exposed turnbuckle, and hits the GTS on Jericho, gets the win. Big pop from the crowd. The crowd was behind it. It was kind of not very Attitude Era-ish, but very extreme in terms of the perspective of this whole era, the PG era or the Johnny era. Power to the people. The following match was a Divas match. Now, prior to the show itself, it had been announced on WWE.com that Beth Phoenix was not cleared to participate. Well, so we have a mystery opponent. A mystery opponent. Whomever could that be? Let's see, last year there was the same situation after Layla Michelle's McCool's match. Karma. Alright, so Nikki Bella comes out for a match. I believe it was Nikki Bella who's defending the title. And they both cut a promo saying that the title's in the right place and yada yada yada. They're both gonna get fired, who cares? So there's about a minute gap between their end of their promo and the reveal of the superstar, or the diva. And yes, no, it was an agent. Yes, not Karma. It was Layla. Layla makes her return to Chicago in the Divas title match. I love Layla. I absolutely love Layla. She's beautiful, gorgeous, and really good in the ring. If I had to rate current Divas right now, it would have to be like Beth Phoenix, Layla up top, Natalya, kind of dwindles down at the bottom. When Karma makes her full appearance in full matches, I'll give her a spot here or there. But Layla returns. Oh, I was so in love. I forgot about all the panic and kind of negative part of the whole night. And Layla came back and defeated the Bella Twins because, they did try to do the double magic kind of stuff where Nikki rolled out, Brie went in, but she didn't think they were different or anything. She hits her neck breaker, which looked wicked awesome because it almost looked like it broke her neck. And she gets the pin, and that's that match. So on Layla's return alone, three stars on the full spectrum of the match. Two stars. Layla's return was nice, but personal 3 stars. On the spectrum of a general fan, then 2 stars is good enough. Quality action. Layla's a good worker, makes anyone look good to a certain extent. Then we get to the main event. Brock Lesnar, who's wearing his UFC shorts and his whole ghetto kind of thing. I'm surprised they didn't come through the crowd and everything. Versus John Cena with the chain gang personality coming out. The vignettes were really good. Edge. The whole vignette was kind of Lesnar, pro Lesnar. Nothing about John Cena looking good in any of the vignettes or anything. He was getting yelled at by Edge. He was getting hit the hell beat out of him by Lesnar. Lord Tenzai beat the shit out of him. So very pro Lesnar. The match was, again, pro Lesnar. Lesnar beat the crap out of him within the first 2 minutes. There was blood. They had to stop the match a bit because they had to clean up the blood. PG era. Then they brawled for a bit, a little bit more. It was very UFC kind of manufactured in the way they were fighting, down mat wrestling style and all that good stuff. Brawling and all that stuff. And then he kind of got cut again, so they had to stop the match and stop the blood. Come on, let's just show it. Remember Eddie Guerrero versus JBL? Oh God. Anyways, The match continues for a bit, then they start utilizing some other outside techniques, there was a lot of wicked bumps from Cena, knees to the stomach and kind of just all over the place action from him. There was a part where Lesnar took his chain, tied it to his feet, and he was kind of in a weird, like the turnbuckle kind of weird position where his legs were dangled up and he was on the outside apron, upside down, and just taking punch shots at him. Cena would fight back with 3 punches, but Lesnar would knock him down again. Man, it was so powerful, pro Lesnar style. I don't know who was in the win. I thought it was gonna. There was just this 95% of my mind saying, dude, Lesnar's gonna win this and go for the WWE title after this. Well, then there's this point in the match where, oh, by the way, he knocks out the ref. Lesnar does by accident, or I believe it was Cena the first time. Then another ref comes in after he hits the F5 to do the pin. Sorry, backtrack. I messed up on a bit. I'm trying to fast forward to this really incredible moment towards the end of the match. But Lesnar hits the F5 after the referee had revived himself again and got in position. But during the F5, he got knocked out. Then another ref came down, did the 3 count, got to 2. Lesnar looked at him and said 3. The ref said 2. Then he beat the crap out of him and threw him out of the ring. Then another ref came out. But other than that, then Lesnar brought in a steel step to the ring. Cena tries to go for a leg drop off the ring to the steel steps, misses. Then this really awesome moment in my mind happened when Lesnar kind of hit the ropes because the steel steps were in the middle of the ring, just kind of sprawled out. Hits the ropes, flies off the steel steps, hits Cena, who's on the apron trying to crawl back in, and they both go flying. Cena goes flying by the hit, but Lesnar kind of hits like back of his body on the top rope, then flips out and like injures his knee, kind of like distorts it, and Lesnar gets up first and he's kind of just hobbling back up, like I survived, or like I'm tougher than this crap. Then he goes for it again, but Cena hits him with the chain that he had on him and busted open on his forehead. And so that happened. Then then he set it up for the attitude adjustment. Hit it on the steel steps and got the 3 count for the end of the match. Afterwards in the match, he cuts a promo saying that my arm sucks, it tastes me my own blood. I'm probably going to be called out by my general manager, but I just want to say, if anything, if I have to leave for a while, it was good being here again. Chicago, a good wrestling city, which is true because they always pop to no matter what. So that's good. Very nice end promo. So it's kind of setting up for Cena to leave for a bit to go film the Marine 3. Brock Lesnar might go on to feud with the WWE title. I'm not too sure what might happen. But the match itself, I gotta give it a 4.5 stars. It was a great brawl, very UFC manufactured early on, but really like suspenseful. I would have given it a full 5. Actually, I'll give it a 4.25 because of these little pauses in between. But I'm not gonna make it hurt that much. Overall, the whole night as a general, some of the positives of the night. Great opening start to the match. Randy Orton versus Kane was good. Fantastic World Heavyweight Championship match. No 18-second mishap. Punk Jericho performed well, like we all thought it was gonna do. The main event, awesome. Layla's return, awesome. But no tag team titles in your pay-per-view. Not even in your pre-show, because you had Santino Marella versus The Miz, which I didn't see, unfortunately, because I was at work. But Santino still retained. But no tag team titles in your pay-per-view. I don't know what is Epico and Primo still doing with the titles. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna blow my mind. Cons of the night: 2 squash matches that could have been thrown out and given time for your tag team title matches or extending some other matches. And not sticking with your Extreme Rules gimmick. Other than that, like I said, if you thought of what else your opinion is of the pay-per-view, comment down below, give me a little thumbs up, subscribe. I am the Ultimate Jobber. If I missed anything, let me know. I'm new to this. This is my first video overall. I will find a more permanent get-up for all this. Maybe not in my parents' garage, like I always plan on doing my videos when I'm on. Like I said, if I missed anything, let me know. I'm about to get closer to the camera so I can shut it off. So if you see my face, tell me how good I look. Good night. Sleep tight. I need to go pee.